This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Well, we're more than a month away from Thanksgiving and even farther out from Christmas. But experts are already warning about celebrating the holidays with friends. Why they're so concerned even as coronavirus cases start to drop. Plus, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they are back. But there's still a lot of talk about what kept the sites offline for hours yesterday and how much we all rely, sadly, on social media to connect.
Also this morning, party for two at the Oregon Zoo. Nora the polar bear is getting a new roommate, so we're going to fill you in on how these two bears are already connected.
They're going to need a bigger tub. Both of them will not fit in that, but that is super cute video. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Sunrise. Rod Hill is back. Yeah. He's bringing some rain with him.
It's been a dry October. Intolerable, right? We changed that today. We fixed the problem. Here's Doppler radar. We have rain along the coast, already steady here. The actual front comes into Portland about noon. Now, really, at any point, we could start seeing some showers pop up and down I-5. It is dry right now again, 56 degrees. So bus stop weather, 8 o'clock this morning, there will be some showers around. We'll call it a rain chance. But by noon, outdoor lunchtime, right, has been the drill. 58 degrees, absolutely raining. When the kids get out of school, we'll say 3 o'clock, absolutely raining. And temperature at that time, 56 degrees.
Sounds good, Rod. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Well, the number of people in Oregon hospitals with COVID is expected to slowly decline over the next 2 to 3 months, and the number has already dropped quite a bit.
So that's the positive outlook this morning. But on the flip side, there is still some concern about people who are just plain tired of having to follow COVID rules and restrictions. KGW's Pat Doris has more for us on both of these issues.
This chart showing hospitalizations for COVID patients in Oregon seemed to grow forever in August, but is now finally on the way back down. For perspective, the surge last November hit a high of 584 patients, and September of this year climbed to a record high of 1,178, and by October 1st, it's back down to 792.
The fall's been pretty quick. It's been in line with forecast, but it's been coming down quite nicely.
Peter Graven is the lead researcher at Oregon Health and Sciences University that compiles the weekly COVID forecast. He also found that things are improving significantly in southwest Oregon, places like Medford, Grants Pass, Roseburg. They are represented by that top line, which is finally down near the other regions of the state. Lauren Van Sickle with Asante Hospitals, which covers Medford, Grants Pass, and Ashland, told me that things are getting better.
Early July was when we had the least amount of patients, and that was around 8 to 10 on any given day. And so we're still way up there with, 65 today, but it's still a far cry from where we were just a few weeks ago at 181.
While there is good news in the pages of the charts and graphs, there are warnings as well. Graven, the researcher, found people are getting tired of taking COVID precautions. More of us are comfortable gathering inside at big events.
The big movement that I'm seeing is actually indoor activities. And so that is restaurants indoors, time with other indoors, large event indoors.
Still, he believes those activities at worst will slow the recovery, not stop it. Over the next couple of months, he expects fewer and fewer people statewide will become infected with the Delta variant of the coronavirus.
That was Pat Doris reporting. Well, the U.S. has officially topped 700,000 COVID-related deaths, and even though recent COVID numbers are lower, experts are already warning about holiday gatherings. The CDC is advising the safest way to celebrate is virtually. It also recommends avoiding travel if you're not fully vaccinated. These new holiday guidelines also urge outdoor celebrations. In the meantime, Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's just too soon to tell where we're going to be once the holidays roll around.
We've just got to concentrating on continuing to get those numbers down and not try to jump ahead by weeks or months.
The focus right now is on vaccine mandates. American Airlines, JetBlue, and Alaska have joined United in requiring vaccines for their employees, and thousands of teachers in New York face a vaccine deadline on Friday.
This week is a big one for state employees in Washington. The deadline to be fully vaccinated is now just 13 days away on October 18th. which means yesterday was the last day people could get the shot and still meet that deadline. Over the weekend, employees started getting notices that without proof of vaccination, they would be separated from employment effective October 18th. Again, that's how the notices were worded, separated from employment. A lot of state agencies are requiring employees to provide their vaccination status by 5 p.m. today, and that includes the Washington State Patrol.
We're hopeful that people took advantage of this, the opportunity to get vaccinated today. We hope everybody gets vaccinated. We want to keep our people employed. We want to keep our people safe more than anything else.
Again, that was a spokesperson with Washington State Patrol. Meanwhile, a WashDOT spokesperson told us that it's too soon to say how many of their employees they might lose come the 18th. But as of yesterday morning, 88% of WashDOT workers had already verified that they've been vaccinated. Washington's Department of Labor and Industries tells us that they've sent about 140 of those separated from employment warning letters out already.
Well, this comes as Washington's daily COVID deaths are finally starting to decline. Hospitalizations statewide dropped 12% in the last week, but hospitals are still extremely busy with staff facing burnout as they treat a wave of unvaccinated patients.
When they insist that they don't have COVID, when they insist on treatments that are not backed by medical science, even in at least one case that I'm familiar with in our state, having attorneys threaten doctors who don't prescribe certain treatments. This is exhausting and disheartening for our staff.
Only about 10% of hospital beds in the state are available, and hospitals that are trying to discharge more patients to long-term care facilities are having trouble finding space.
Here are a few more of the headlines to get you caught up this morning. A capsized sailboat washed ashore near Oregon's Rockaway Beach. Officials discovered a husband and wife dead inside. They're believed to be the only people on board. The boat Bagheera was registered out of Astoria and it was heading down to California. No word yet what caused it to capsize. The largest drug bust in Oregon history seized 384 pounds of meth. The feds just confirmed those numbers yesterday. The DEA and multiple law enforcement agencies moved in on a Eugene drug ring last month after a year-long investigation. In addition to the meth, authorities also seized some stolen guns and $76,000 in cash. And we've learned the name of the man accused of shooting at police in Molalla yesterday. He's 48-year-old Brian Mills. The incident started around 11 o'clock yesterday morning near Leroy Avenue and Main Street. That's where police responded to a medical call. Once they got there, they say Mills was in body armor and started shooting, so officers returned fire.
They were fired from the house, from a window adjacent to the door, and small and long rifle calibers.
The nearby elementary and middle schools went into lockdown. No officers were hurt. And those are some of your Tuesday morning headlines.
One of the restaurants that helped put Portland on the map as one of the country's top food cities is going away. Paley's Place in Northwest Portland is closing its doors after more than 25 years. Yesterday, the owner said they're going to retire next month after they serve up one more Thanksgiving dinner.
How sad. Happening today, a former Facebook employee is set to testify to Congress about what she says is the company's betrayal of democracy. Frances Haugen made the accusations in a bombshell interview on CBS's 60 Minutes Sunday. Then yesterday, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp went down for hours. And the timing has many tech experts debunking numerous claims that the outage and report are connected.
We have no reporting that indicates there's any connection whatsoever, but it is, fire on your left, fire on your right, massive problems on both sides for Facebook.
You can hear more about the hearing on the Today Show at 10, including that whistleblower's accusation that Facebook targets kids and puts profits over safety. Well, yesterday's outage left a lot of people in businesses realizing just how much they rely on the social media sites.
So one University of Washington researcher estimates that millions of businesses lost a main source of communication yesterday with their customers, and some users were definitely suffering from social media withdrawal.
We are quite dependent on these communication channels. I guess the question we should ask as a society is, should we rely on just one or two or three platforms? Are there other ways to build resiliency in our information systems.
And now we push you to social media. For this morning's poll, we're asking, how did you react to the social media outage yesterday? So far, a whopping 70.8% say, I didn't notice or I didn't care.
Woo! Yeah, baby.
The other choices on the board, you enjoyed the break from social media, or you missed the interaction on social media. Of course, Twitter never went down. We're using Twitter for this poll this morning. You can find it pinned to the top of our KGW Sunrise Twitter page.
I'm telling you, that is me yesterday. I was doing other things, was not on social media. I got in this morning, I'm like, oh, Facebook and those guys were down?
Yeah, I didn't notice as much. I was busy too, which is good.
Yes,
but yes.
Credit goes to our producer, Jessica Smith. What's up, Jess? Because we put together that poll this morning, we thought, well, we'll ask people, did you miss it or did you enjoy the break? And she goes, we should probably add, I didn't even notice or I didn't care. And of course, that's the one that's winning right now in our poll.
When was it down again? But in the afternoon?
Like 5 or 6 hours yesterday.
Starting around 9 o'clock our time. So about 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame. All right, let's take a look at Doppler radar this morning, shall we? We have a cold front coming in about, into Portland around noon, the actual front. You can plainly see the elongated signature of the clouds. That's typically a cold front on the satellite, and that's what we have. Here's a steady rain band now. Up and down much of the coast. There's Tillamook, good morning. Astoria, good morning. Long Beach, Ocean Park, you folks also getting rain. Longview, not that far off, perhaps from starting to see your first raindrops. Still a little ways out, I think, for Portland and Salem. Now, I mentioned earlier in the show, the shower chance for the Rose City and Marion County and Clark County has begun, but it's really going to be closer to 9 or 10, somewhere in there when the rain really starts to noticeably pick up. Here's Futurecast at 10:30 this morning. And once we get into that mid-morning hour to about 10 o'clock, I think from that point on, it's mainly steady rain all the way through about 5. This is Futurecast at 5:30 showing the main rain batch now moving away from us. Snow level today generally about 7,000 feet up in the Cascades. And then behind this front, we'll get into the typical sunbreak scattered shower day following. So, of course, that would be Wednesday. Here's tomorrow at 12:30 in the afternoon, some sunbreaks and scattered showers. This particular rainmaker looks to produce, according to weather models, about the same at the beach as well inland. This shows Astoria 2700s, Portland 38 107 inch of measurable rain. We're in the 50s with the cloud cover, and we also have a mix of cloudiness out east, although you folks expected to become mostly sunny. Baker City, good morning, and just go on to have a lovely day. Temperatures generally in the 50s here on the west side with the rain coming down. Same thing up through Longview, Battleground, and Vancouver. Southwest winds noticeably breezy at times around midday when the actual front comes in. 61 today, 60 tomorrow. Thursday's dry, a little touch of rain on Friday. This looks really wet, by the way. Sunday could be an inch of rain coming down. Yeah.
We still need it. Thank you. Hey, coming up this morning, a rare fish washed up on the Oregon coast. There it is. And it created a learning opportunity for 7th graders. We'll check out what these students discovered. Plus, social media is full of claims about home remedies for COVID. One in particular caught the attention of our Verify team. They investigate the dangers of nebulized hydrogen peroxide after the break.